BYU still has a chance to qualify for a bowl game this season, but they need to take it one game at a time in order to get there. coogtube reporter Brendan Hardigan is with us to preview their next game. Brendan, the Cougars are looking strong right now. Do you think they can carry this positive momentum into the weekend?
You know, I think they can. BYU really did play an outstanding game against UNLV last weekend, but now the Cougars face the daunting task of winning on the road against a tough football team out in Fort Collins. BYU is coming off its first back-to-back wins of the season, but the Cougars are still looking to do something they haven't done in 364 days, which is win a game on the road. BYU is hopeful its cold streak will come to an end in Fort Collins as it tries to beat Colorado State. The solid Cougar defense shouldn't have any problems against the Rams' offense. Colorado State is only averaging 18.8 points per game this season, and they are also committing nearly 2 turnovers per contest. If the Cougars can commit turnovers and hold the Rams to their scoring average, they should be able to end their 364-day road losing streak. The coaches know how important it is to stop the Rams' offense, as Colorado State also has a talented group of defenders.
I think it's going to be a defensive game personally, and I think both defenses are strong, and I think it's going to be a tough game.
The Rams are not having problems getting to the quarterback this season. The CSU defense has 18 sacks on the year, as well as 58 tackles for a loss. They enjoy rushing the QB, but the Cougars know they need to be ready to protect Jake Heaps tomorrow.
You know, they're a great team. They have a great defense. You know, these guys are going to blitz a little bit more, or we expect that, than other teams that we've played in the past couple weeks.
The BYU offensive line only allowed 1 sack in the last 2 games, which is good news if the Rams' forte is getting to the quarterback. If Jake Heaps and company can get the same kind of offensive production they got last week against UNLV, they have a good shot at avoiding going an entire year without winning a game on the road. The last time the Cougars played in Fort Collins, it took an epic last-minute comeback from Max Hall and company to leave with a win. Hopefully BYU can avoid that kind of scenario tomorrow, but be sure to stick around to hear my prediction on how the Cougars will do against the Rams.
Well, apparently there's a mystery going on in Colorado. There are 2 Morgan brothers on the BYU football roster, but neither are playing this week against Colorado State. coogtube reporter Brianna Carr is in Fort Collins. Brianna, solve the mystery for us and stay warm. It looks cold out there.
Hi, Michael. It's 30 degrees and very snowy here at Hughes Stadium. It's 45 degrees in Moscow, Russia, and a balmy 57 in Bulgaria. Why do you ask, am I talking about Russia and Bulgaria? Well, that's where the 2 missing Morgan brothers are, serving LDS missions. Blake and Rex Morgan didn't have a second thought when it came to choosing which college to play for. Their love of BYU and football goes back to the crib.
Well, Blake's the oldest, and when he was born, Mike put a little football in his bassinet at the hospital, and it said my first football. It was very cute, and every time they reeled him in, it was underneath, and Mike would put it back up and go tell him, don't move that football, and so I think they didn't have a choice.
Blake started on the Cougar defense in 2008, racking up tackles and leading the Cougars to a bowl game. Cheering from the sidelines that season was younger brother Rex, a redshirt freshman. But this year, neither of them are playing. They both traded the football field for the mission field. Rex was the first to accept the call, and in just a matter of months, he was standing at Red Square preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. Blake wasn't far behind and turned in his Cougar jersey for a white shirt and name tag, but where Rex's is written in Russian, Blake's badge is Bulgarian. Dad Mike Morgan never dreamed that his oldest boys would both serve in Eastern Europe.
Having them both be so far away and in such foreign places has been really fun, because we've learned a lot about different cultures and different places, and I think it's been a great experience for them, a great life experience.
The Morgan brothers first made their mark in football at Greeley West High School, leading the Spartans to back-to-back conference championships. Their pictures hang on the walls of the weight room as examples of what they call Spartan superstars. Their high school football coach says he isn't surprised to hear the brothers are still superstars, even on the other side of the world.
Well, I think it's Bulgaria's gain and America's loss, and I think it's Russia's gain and America's loss. With both of those kids over there, I'm very, very proud of them and the direction they've taken.
Continuing the Morgan legacy today is the next of the brothers, Max. Parents Mike and Natalie say that Max is the most independent of the 3, and when it came to signing day, Max chose a different path, the green and gold of Colorado State. Though next summer, Max plans to follow in his brother's footsteps and serve a full-time mission. So 3 brothers and 2 Mountain West universities. The question remains, when Mike and Natalie Morgan go to tomorrow's BYU Colorado State football game, which colors will they wear?
Blue and green.
I don't know. I haven't decided. I might just wear black. I don't know.
Back here at Hughes Stadium, the Cougars are currently in the air, expected to arrive in Colorado in just a couple of hours. And Michael, I can only imagine they're hoping Kylie has a better game day forecast than 30 degrees and snowy. From Fort Collins, I'm Brianna Carr. Back to you.
Thanks, Brianna. Enjoy the game and don't forget your mittens.
When CoogTube comes back, road woes. Will the Cougars win their first road game of the season? We'll give our predictions of the BYU game and an SEC showdown.
And it's a beautiful day here in Provo, but will Brianna and Broncos boys be as lucky in Fort Collins tomorrow? You won't want to miss the game day forecast coming up next when CoogTube returns.
I'm glad the sun's shining today, guys, but I wish it were just a little bit warmer.
Yeah, but I feel like we can't complain too much because it's cold, but it's not snowing, unlike our boys in Fort Collins, right?
I know, those poor guys. It's been a beautiful week here in Provo. It's been kind of off and on early this week, but today is great. If we take a look outside, you can see we've got a beautiful fall shot with some orange leaves, and you can see some wispy clouds in the sky, but nothing too terrible. We have no chance of rain today, and it's going to be a partly cloudy but mostly sunny day here in Provo. Currently it's 41 degrees. Humidity is at about 60%, and some small winds coming in at about 5 miles per hour. But if you're one of the Cougar faithful waiting in line for the season opener, tonight, again, 41 degrees right now, currently 60% humidity and some small winds. But if you're waiting in line at the Marriott Center for tonight's season opener, you will be experiencing some clouds, some light winds, and some temperatures in the 30s and lower to upper 40s. So it's going to be a great day. It's a good day to be standing in line, I guess, all things considering. Game day forecast, 37 degrees at kickoff. They will be having some snow showers, humidity about 51%, and some small winds coming in at 7 miles per hour. So if you're headed to Fort Collins like Brianna, be sure to pack your mittens, your scarves, and your coats because it's going to be a cold one. Now for the Wasatch 5-Day. Again, Friday and Saturday in Provo are going to be beautiful. A high of 45. Come Sunday and Monday, though, there's a storm coming in. We'll have a mix of rain and snow. And Tuesday, high of 50, warming up for early next week. So enjoy the weekend. Back to you.
Well, it may be getting cold outside, but let's hope the Cougar offense stays hot, hot, hot this week. It's time for our weekly predictions. After last week's Zenyatta letdown, you can see why I will never make it out of last place. Brendan is 2 games ahead of everybody, and if anyone wants to catch him, they better make a move quick. Kylie, Nicole, I'm finally over 500, but my chances of ever taking the Cougar ended after week 1. After seeing BYU blow out UNLV last week, we all have a bit of renewed confidence in our Cougs, so we all like our chances of taking out the Rams in Colorado. We're also picking between South Carolina and Florida. Steve Spurrier is sure to get a lot of boos when his Gamecocks take on the Gators in the Swamp. We're split on this one. Kylie and Brendan say Florida will defend the Swamp, but South Carolina is known for their upsets, so Nicole and I like the Gamecocks in Gainesville. So I think BYU, like we talked about, the renewed confidence. Jake Heaps is playing well. I like them, even though they're going away playing in that cold weather. And then Marcus Lattimore, that freshman at South Carolina, I think he's going to be too much for Urban Meyer and the Gators.
I agree with Mike. I think it's going to be the Cougs in Colorado State, and that it's going to be South Carolina. They're good in comebacks.
I think BYU is going to end their 364-day road losing streak. They're going to win, and I don't think Steve Spurrier can beat his old team in the Swamp, Florida.
All right.
Well, you know, my man Jake Heaps is finally stepping up, so I'm going with the Cougs, and I'm with Brendan on this one. I think the Gators are going to take it.
And although I hate to look ahead, I am excited for how BYU is going to finish out the season against the Utes.
And that's CoogTube for Friday, November 12th.
Thanks for joining us, and have a great afternoon. Go Cougars.